Hello everyone, this is Lynette with Charmedgrammycrochet. Crochet. That didn't come out right, did it? Charmed Grammy Crochet. Gosh, you'd think I was drinking or something. I can't, alas, I'm allergic, which is really sad. That's just developed in the last year. So, anyway, besides the wine, just water, really. This is Charm Chatter number 162, I think. And today is the day after Valentine's Day, so it is February 15th. Can't count too quickly, apparently. And this is just, I said I was going to do Mondays and Fridays and then maybe in between, but this is the Monday. So I have some things to show you. Since I got caught up on all of my CALs, including the newest one I joined, which is the one with Dina from Homespun Fun and Pamela from Pamela's Adoring Crochet, and Ella from No Catchy Name. They'll all be listed. I know there's more. I can't think of who they are right now. I know there's more. I'm sorry that I'm forgetting someone. Maybe a couple of people. I think I'm forgetting two. There's myself. I think I'm forgetting two people. But anyway, the first month of that one was I don't have the written pattern. I only have it downloaded because I haven't received my calendar yet. But I thought we were waiting. I thought we were supposed to do this at the end of the month and then show you what the thing is for next month. But apparently I must have misunderstood that, so that's no big deal. I'm just going to go with the flow and tell you what I made. So for January, because I didn't get the calendar or the patterns until this month, was like a trivet. And this is leftover yarn from when I made my kitchen curtains. So I think the trivet maybe should have been made with a bigger, thicker yarn. But this is cotton yarn and it does match my kitchen curtains. And I made this second after I made, this is the January, after I made the February, which was the Bavarian Stitch pot holder, or maybe trivet as well. So excuse me, I made this first, and as I said, this is yarn that's left over from my kitchen curtains that I made last summer. So then I just made the matching trivet, and it's not very thick, but you could still put something hot on there and be done with it, but they match. And I think I'm just going to hang this on the wall in my kitchen as a decoration and not to be used, because I really do love it and it does match the curtains. So if I hang it by the curtains, it won't look so funky with the colors. I just grabbed, it said use a 2 or a 4-ply yarn, which I Googled, and I thought that made it mean that I needed like a 2-weight or 3-weight yarn. I know it was one specifically, and so I didn't want to grab the 4-weight yarn. That was the whole point of this. So I grabbed the first colors that I found that were in my kitchen curtains, besides white. I knew I didn't want to do white, which is, one is this green, which I really like this green, and it is a Pantone's Grace, and I believe this was gifted to me by Trisha. We did in a yarn swap. It is a 3-weight cotton, 100% mercerized cotton. I do like it very much. It's got a little bit of a sheen to it. The others do not, but I really like this one. And so that's what's left of that. That was I think I had dipped into that skein. I'm not 100% sure. Then I had this Nob Hill cotton, also gifted to me from my good friend Trisha from Mama Swift Crochet. And this is a 4, but it's a very thin 4, thinner than like my Premier kitchen cottons, Premier Home and Sugar and Creams, a lot thinner than that. Excuse me. And I think it very much qualifies as a 3, much more than those other ones previously mentioned. So this is also 100% cotton. And then this one is a Red Heart 100% cotton sport weight. And this was gifted to me. And this one is not in my kitchen curtains, I'm sorry to say, because I love the color. Or maybe it is. I don't think so. I don't think I had that, but this was gifted to me from Rosalie at Yarn It Out. So anyway, those were the first 3 weight yarns that I found, and so that's what I used to make those first 3 patterns. The next pattern is a granny square, and they also say make that out of cotton, but I'm not going to do that. I have a plan. We'll see. We'll see how it works out. But my daughter-in-law, I have a daughter-in-law that pink is her favorite color. Now this granny square is supposed to be, it's like a flower inside a square. Like puff stitch 2 rows of flower and then you make it into a square. So I don't think it's going to be a very large square. And I was thinking about this and I'm like, I made this hat for my daughter-in-law. And it is the Divine hat. But it's a, you know, so she can put her bun up there. The messy bun hat, which fits actually really good on your head. This there. Okay, there. But I think it might be a little bit short here. I don't know. Anyway, I have this messy bun hat. And I was thinking, I don't want to just give her the hat. So I was thinking I would do the, and I only had 1 skein of that yarn. And that yarn, by the way, is, and I don't remember the tutorial that I used, but I will find it and link it. And I use this touch of alpaca. And let's see, it is 90% acrylic and 10% alpaca. And this color is called Blush. And it is the only one of these that I had. I don't know why I only have 1, but it is the only one I could find. So if I have more, it's hiding. Anyway, this is called A Touch of Luxe, Touch of Alpaca. And this one didn't bother me too much to work with it. Like wool bothers me more. This one didn't bother me too much to work with it. And I have this much left. The skein is 207 yards. So I'm hoping that if I do the center of the granny square, like the original center of the flower, maybe I can get 2 or 4. I'm hoping at least 2 out of this yarn. And then I would do, this is the like petals of the flower. And then this is the outside and the join. And I'll tell you about the other yarns. And make a scarf. Now I know hopefully I can get 2, maybe 4. I need an even number of these. And then I can fill in with, I have this scrap or this scrap. Because I don't think I can make the whole scarf out of just these. I could, but then this will tie into the hat. And then I was also thinking maybe I would like do a round of this or a round of this. Just like a single crochet around the edge to tie them together better. For the squares for next month. So this is I Love This Yarn from Hobby Lobby, and this color is Crushed Raspberry. My original thought was just use just plain pink, but I got the little polka dots in there, and I think she'll love it because it's playful, and I think she'll love that. And then this alpaca has like a sheen, like a little bit of an iridescent sheen to it. You get some highlights of other colors maybe. So I thought it would coordinate very well with this is Premier's Aurora, and the color, I don't want to open it yet, is Rose Hip. And it's got, as you can see, like multiple colors in there. It is 100% acrylic, 166 yards, 152 meters per 3.5 ounce or 100 gram skein. So I was thinking if I did that, I would have enough. So like the end 2 would have this yarn in it, and then I could mix match all the others for the other. Those would always be the outside of the granny squares, and then mix and match my other scrap yarns and these around, because they're all 4-weight, and make the rest of the flowers out of those. But the end 2 ones at least, or 4 if I have it, of the pink that matches the hat. So that's my thought process for next month for the crochet calendar. And maybe I'll just go with the scraps for the flowers and not break into the pink, or not break into the white. But I don't know. Actually, I don't like these colors together so much. Yeah, no, we're not going to do that. We'll do this. And if this, or when this runs out, yeah, I'm not going to use those other 2. After I put them together and was like really looking at them, I don't like it together. But I do like these. So as many as I can get out of this for the inside of the flower, and then maybe I'll just use this for the both rounds of the inside of the flower with that being on there. Or maybe I have another light pink. I don't know. So that's the plan. We'll see how it goes. I might just make the granny square and be done with it. I don't know. Right now I have good intentions. So that's that. So that's my finished object. My next cal, or for next month for the calendar. And again, I don't have the actual calendar yet, so I can't show you the printout. But it's a granny square. You know what those look like. With the flower in the center. Oh, excuse me. I'm so dry. I did want to tell you also that this Bavarian Stitch, I followed Natasha. And I will link her tutorial on how to do this stitch. The pattern was, well, Pamela from Pamela's Adoring Crochet, she did the pattern and she was having trouble with it and advised to watch the video. The original pattern calls for double crochets, but because I'm using this thin yarn and I used a 4mm hook, if I did double crochet, it would have been so small. So the video tutorial was for doing treble crochets. So I did stick with the treble crochet, but it is the same design. They also on the pattern called for doing a row of a surface crochet, probably to make this, here, but to join with your like, I should have joined according to the pattern with the green color and then surface crocheted with the orange or even the purple, either one. But I decided that I would do it this way because this I thought would be cute, brings the orange back to the start and kind of mixes them all together, and that's what I did. Oh, and I forgot to tell you the colors of these yarns, didn't I? This one is called Lavender. This one is called Orange, and this is distributed by Hirschner's, the Knob Hill. And this one is called, believe it or not, Ginger. Unless I have the wrong label on there for some reason. I don't know why that would be called Ginger. All right, so I did work on I'm doing Little John's yarn pattern, but bigger, for Amanda for a beach cover-up, and I worked on that a little this weekend, not a whole ton, but let me show you where we're at with it. It's really not much to show because I just don't want to unravel it. I don't think I stuck there. Yeah, I forgot to stick a stitch marker in, so I don't want to unravel. But I do have a stitch marker. Okay, so I was here where the stitch marker is. I hope you can see it. Stitch marker is here, so I've done that much. Now, if you shake it, it does fall out longer, which is awesome. That's the one of the best tips I've ever heard. And this is using Cotton Fair, and the colorway I think is called Americana. This is ball number 2. This is what I have left of ball number 2. I think I have about 9 of these, so hopefully that will be enough, because I think they've discontinued it now, this colorway, in the Cotton Fair. So anyway, this will go all the way around her. The pattern is to, you know, crochet from the bottom up. When you get to the sleeve holes, that's when we have to think about making changes. So she wants this to be all the way to the floor length, ground length. And Amanda's tall, so I have a long way to go still. Oh, and since now that I've showed you the progress, we can move the stitch marker, which was also gifted to me. And I apologize, but I don't remember, but isn't it cute? I used the one with the sea turtle since this is a beach cover-up. And hold on. Okay. Now I've moved the stitch marker so that the next time I get any progress made on it, any substantial progress, it's a very slow go. You'd think it would be faster, being that it's the fishnet stitch, but I'm going to tell you, I have it living. This is like one of those big twist. My son and daughter-in-law gave that to me for Christmas one year. And it is getting to the point that it's getting full to fit into my little canister. And it's the kind with the pull top, except I forgot to put the yarn through there. Duh. I did the first ball. I had the yarn coming through the top. I forgot when I added this ball on. I know, not always the brightest bulb on the tree. It is snowing outside. I don't know if you can tell from the window. It's a very light snow right now, but we are supposed to get, I don't know, 12 or 14 inches by the time I go to work tomorrow in the morning. My job is now open 24/7 again. This will be my first shift tomorrow morning, starting at 4 a.m. So I will leave. Usually I get up at like 2. Well, for the winter time, I always get up a half an hour early. So I get up at like 2 instead of 2:30 to give me that extra half an hour to get there in case the weather is bad. But we know that this storm is coming. It's come across the country. I hear, you know, Texas has snow, and like I feel bad for those people. I know that a lot of people that live in those really hot southern states don't even have furnaces. So they're, you know, doing what they can to stay warm, I'm sure. We're expecting it. Snowplows have been not down my street because we don't have any snow yet on the streets. The streets are still clear, but they have had salt trucks down to help keep the streets clear, you know, as the snow is falling. But I guess it's supposed to snow mostly all the next 24 hours. Oh well, I work this week, then I'm on vacation, and it can snow again all at once. So that was a little squirrel. I'm pulling a Granny D. So then I also worked on my Make 9 for Amanda's. This is Chloe's. The other thing was for Amanda. This is for Chloe. Oh, I forgot to put my hook in there. I have to put my hook back. I'm using a 4mm clover hook for this one. What is that? A G. I never use the letters. I always go by the numbers. So the 4mm hook goes with that one. This I do have a picture of, and I can, show you. So this is, Trisha gave me this Make 9. It is a Lion Brand pattern. I think I have a picture. Yeah, the picture is really crappy, but it is the free crochet pattern Lion Brand. Oh, it's supposed to be made with Lion Brand jeans. Trivoli tunic. So it's like a tunic dress, kind of. There's a, I can show this because it's a free pattern, right? but it's made all in one piece. So that's awesome. And I am now at the part where it's a slit at the bottom on either side. I'm using also a 5.5 millimeter hook. This is Dreamweaver yarn, which I've talked about before, but it's kind of like landscapes. And it doesn't have a name or anything. This is the front. And I'm down to, let's see, so here's the neck. So for Chloe, the neckline needs to come in a little bit. So I can only do so much on it before I have her body with me again. I believe the sleeves are going to be a little bit big, and she wants actual sleeves. Where the dress, you can't tell in that picture so well, but she's wearing the model is wearing like a turtleneck under, because it's just got a crew kind of, you know, this is, the collar is on here, I believe, because we haven't finished it yet, but I think they just have the collar with a single crochet going around, and this is pretty much done on the collar. But it's a little wide for Chloe, so I'm going to need to bring it in some, which is fine. I've got the space for that on her body. And I think the sleeves are going to be a little bit big because she wants actual sleeves, so I think I'm going to need to build this up. I guess just go back and forth, maybe a couple of rows and bring it in to make the sleeve. I think that's how I'll do it. I'll have to probably play it by ear and have her body with me. And then the body part fits are good. I'm hoping the length is good because I have done all of the crochet. The last time I think I showed you, I was up here. I had just done the, you know, I had fitted her for under the sleeves. So now I'm here and we're doing the split. So then you crochet just the back. It gets one increase across the rear end, just one time, and then it's 14 rows of the split. And I kind of want her to put it on before I do all 14. And then you do the front, because I don't want it to be too long. She'll wear jeans with it, so I don't want it to be too long for her. So I don't know how much longer I'm going to go before I have her try it on again. I think a couple more rows for sure to see where it fits her and how far she, you know, she doesn't, I don't think she really wants it as a more dress, but shorter than that. So we're making progress, and I think this is my 4th skein that I am using. Yeah, this is, yeah, they come 2 in a pack, the Dreamweaver yarn, and that's the 4th one. I do have part of one that was, so at one point you like worked the back separate where you worked up, I think. And anyway, I had to cut my yarn and I didn't use the little tiny bits. I just went to a big piece because I can use this around the collar or whatever. So I'm on probably maybe halfway through the 4th skein of that yarn for this project. So I think I'm making pretty good progress on that. I worked on it quite a bit over the weekend after finishing the crochet along stuff, the calendar crochet, because the other ones are done. So all my crochet alongs are caught up. I'm very excited about that. And then, finally, I worked on and I made some more decisions on my, it's so dry in here, I apologize. I made some more decisions on the Van Halen blanket. So this is the graph for the Van Halen blanket, and I am on row 26. So I started here and I've come up to row 26. I added like 2 rows today, this morning, and I'm going to make a couple more rows on it. But as you can see, it's very tiny, and the white doesn't have any boxes. It's just where the white yarn goes. And so I'm doing this like with this, trying to follow my lines. I'm using a like a line marker sideways. I just am not seeing it so well, and it's not the graph's fault. The graph is fabulous, and I'm so excited to have it. But I've learned. These are just, I'm just like throwing this out here because these are tips. If you're doing a graph, that because there's a lot of little tiny squares in here, so I found that it's easier if I like put a piece of paper next to it to follow the graph. And I also have learned, because it makes it go faster, if I lay the graph down with my piece of paper next to it and hold that in place, then I write down what I'm going to do up the row. So it's like one red square, two black, or six, I'm backwards, two black squares, one red square, and like kind of write it down. Then I can, it's easier. It's gone so much faster. I just figured this out 4 rows ago to write it down that way. And it's really making it a ton easier. A big ton easier. I'm so much happier with it doing it this way. But let me show you where I am. I think everything's safe. So this is what it's looking like. And I'm using, the black is a Dreamweaver yarn, but the red and white are Caron 1-pounders, and I'm using a 5.5mm hook. And it's stiff. And I'm not real happy with that. I mean, it's stiff. Real stiff, like it's, there's no drape to it at all. And I'm not thrilled with that. And it's taking a really long time, which, I mean, it's a Grafgan. I expect it to take a long time. But I have to work over the table. I'm not enjoying it. That's the bottom line. I am thrilled to death that I have it figured out. I know I can do the graph. So the challenge is of, can I do this? I've got. So I think I've decided. I mean, I have all year to make the thing because I really want to give it to him for Christmas is coming up, like 2021. So if I, do a row, there's a lot of rows. I do a couple of rows a week. I could get the blanket done. But it's just, I don't really want to work on it that long. I've already dealt with this blanket, a long time. So I have come to the conclusion that I'm going to make this not much bigger than what it is. I'm going to do this 26th row that I'm on, and then I'm going to start decreasing, and I'm going to make it a pillow. And then I'm going to take the rest of the yarn that I made and go back to the granny square, but I'm just going to make a red granny square blanket and add complete rows of, I was going to do a corner to corner. I'm not sure, but I think I'm just going to do the rectangular granny, the modern granny. I really like that. It's a fast workup, and I can do like several rounds of red and then add a couple of rounds of black, a couple of rounds of red, a round of white to get the black and white in there, get it like a little bit stripy, but do the whole round, not break it up like I had originally tried. So he'll have the pillow that's the Van Halen design, Van Halen guitar design, and he'll have a blanket. And that's what I'm going to do. Because, excuse me, I haven't worked on this until today for a couple of, like 2 weeks. And I worked on it today, and I'm like hunched over, and this just isn't fun. It's not an enjoyable, it was exciting when I first got the graph and was learning how to do it and figuring it out and getting it. Well, now I got it. And I just don't like working over my dining room table. And that's a year working over the dining room table. And it's work to make this, and that's the whole thing of it. It's work to make it. Now that I know that I can do it, it's not as much fun as I thought it was going to be. So I've decided that I'm going to make it a pillow. I'll actually even pull out a sewing machine because I am going to get some fat squares, black or red, and make a pillow, a solid pillow, and then stuff it and attach this. I'm not quite sure how you do that. I think, what do? You sew the yarn to the fat square so it's got a backing so the fiber doesn't come out of it. And then make the pillow, stuff it, and sew up the other seam. That's what I'm going to do. That's my decision, and I'm happy with that decision. I don't feel like I have let myself down. And I think he'll still be thrilled with getting the pillow to go on his couch along with his blanket. And so I'm going to be happy with it, and I hope that the recipient is going to be happy with it. And I feel like a weight is lifted to get this blanket kind of out of, I've been dealing with this blanket for 2 years. Like, I really haven't worked. I mean, if you've been around for a while, you know that I've struggled because I spent several hours trying to make a graph, and then I was gifted the graph, which is so fabulous. But I started making the blanket more than one time, and so I'm so done with Van Halen. And yet I'm not done. But I want to be done with Van Halen. So and I'm going to use a bigger hook because it's stiff, and I know it'll soften when you wash it. And I think I will wash the pillow parts before I make it because I want it to be soft, and it's not. So I will finish the graph, wash it, and then put the pillow together, and then make the blanket. So I'm happy about that. I'm happy about the decision. I'm not I don't feel like a failure because I didn't do it, kind of thing. There's none of that going on here. It's crochet and it's fun, and this isn't frustrating. It's just time consuming, and I'm just done with Van Halen. And I don't feel bad about saying that. I gave it a really good college try, and I conquered. I just am not going to conquer the whole blanket in this pattern. It's just not that fun. So I hope you have a totally awesome rest of your day. I have had a totally awesome day so far today. Say a little prayer that I make it to work on time with our 12 to 14 inches of snow coming. It's northern Ohio. That's not that bad. People in the southern states that are getting snow and aren't used to it is much more concerning. So say a little prayer for them as well. And I will see you Friday, if not before. Have an awesome rest of your day. Bye.